Hey everyone, Joe from On AV on a Vinyl. Happy Monday if you're watching this on a Monday. Happy any day, whatever day you're watching it. Hope your weekend was good. A little bit different today. Today is all going to be about soundtracks. We got a whole bunch in that new collection. So I'm going to go through a different couple of kinds of soundtracks and just some of the other things that we've got in based around movie soundtracks and some TV soundtracks as well. Canada Day coming up in a couple of days. Again, depends on when you watch this. Yes, I got it in there. Anyway, we will not be here on Wednesday, July the 1st, Canada Day. We will be out celebrating, like the rest of you, with our families and doing Canada Day stuff. So, yeah, we won't be here Wednesday, but we'll be back on Thursday, as we always are. So, with that said, quick before I get into it, I always do that. Again, there is a bunch of new stuff out in the bins, and I say that again because you've heard me in previous videos. There's some stuff from a couple of Fridays ago, there's some stuff from last Friday, there will be new stuff on this Friday as well. All of this that I'm going to show you today is going to be out there, but going to try again to put out new stuff over the next couple of Fridays, probably over the next 3 or 4 Fridays through July. 150 at a pop. As best as I can get them clean sleeved and put them out there, you're going to see them. So make sure you come in all the time, but for sure maybe have a think about Fridays and or Mondays, because that way anything that didn't get taken on Friday is still here on Monday. Okay, let's do this. Let's talk soundtracks. There are a couple of different kinds that I'm going to talk about here. The first being the traditional, the big guns, the ones we all kind of know about. And I'm going to point down to that one down there, if I get my finger all the way down. I know it's weird because I'm talking and my finger's not doing things when I say I'm moving my finger, plus now my hands are up here and my fingers are down there. Anyway, there's the traditional stuff, the big guns, like the Saturday Night Fevers, like the Grease soundtrack that we all know, we all love. We've sold a ton of the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack. Everybody kind of poo-poos it, but that's not the case. It's just good, fun music from that time period. And there's a beautiful, wonderful, clean copy, $11. Can't go wrong. So if you're looking for that. But, and also, because a few people commented, I have tried not to make this a Tarantino film, and I've kept my feet out of the picture at the bottom this time. They were only there because I hadn't put an album down yet. All right, let's stop rambling. Let's go through a few more classics. To me, this is a classic. Eddie and the Cruisers. This is a phenomenal album, whether it was associated with a movie or not. It just happened to be part of a movie, but I love this album. Great, kind of 50s stuff. Really, really good. Other than the last track, of course, "Season in Hell." Check out the movie too if you haven't seen it. Part 2, not so much, but part 1, check out Eddie and the Cruisers if you can, but great, phenomenal soundtrack. So I'd call that one a classic. I'd call this one a classic as well. I'm not going to go through these all in depth. I'm just going to show you a bunch because there's a whole bunch in this stack. Blues Brothers, cannot go wrong with the Blues Brothers. I'd like to tell you that I know exactly the speech when they're in the car in the tunnel and they're waiting to go to Chicago, but I can't remember all of it. So I'm not going to try. Top Gun, Berlin, of course on here, Loverboy, Heaven in Your Eyes, Cheap Trick, Berlin, I already said, Kenny Loggins. Kenny Loggins, I could check and see. I don't know exactly how many soundtracks he's on, but it's a whole bunch. But yes, Top Gun, talked about this, part of the John Travolta trilogy, that being Urban Cowboy, Saturday Night Fever, and Grease. Footloose, that falls into the classic soundtrack category. Let's dance. Okay, TV soundtracks. There were a few. There might be a few more in the back. I just pulled out a couple examples, but 21 Jump Street. Yes, there's been movies of 21 Jump Street with Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum, but this is back to the television show. So there you go. The Alarm, Reckless Sleepers, One Nation, Hunters and Collectors. Pretty decent stuff on there. Some new wave, post-punk, whatever you want to call it. Miami Vice 2, not 1. I think 1 might be around as well. And there's some other classics in there. There's a Dirty Dancing. There's all of that. There's more Dirty Dancing. Things like that. Who is all on here? Steve Jones, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Phil Collins, Take Me Home. That was probably the big one off of that. But yeah, TV soundtracks as well, if they they have enough of a soundtrack in them, they will put them out. Stranger Things, there's lots of that. There's a lot of modern TV shows that have some soundtracks in them as well. Another style of soundtrack is where it's a single band and they get them to do the whole thing, like this one, which is War. And this is the movie Youngblood. War, the original motion picture soundtrack. So, you know, if you are a fan of War, there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff on here that you are not going to have on other albums, because I think this was specifically made for this. Kind of like Isaac Hayes' Shaft, The Harder They Come, the Jimmy Cliff one. There's a little bit of that. I think there might be another Shaft in the back somewhere. Again, this is not going to be every soundtrack we have. This is just going to be a whole bunch of soundtracks we have. But yeah, so there you go. Some artists that did specific music for the soundtrack, like Madonna and I'm Breathless. Music from and inspired by the film Dick Tracy. Don't see that one very often. I'm not sure if I was a big fan of the movie, but regardless of that, there you go. There is that. Now, this one is one of my all-time favorites. They've revived it on Broadway. It's doing super well. I think I talked about this maybe in a previous video. I actually contemplated trying to be the narrator in the Regina Little Theater production of Rocky Horror, but my mind is starting to go. Well, you all knew that, but my memory is starting to go, so I don't know if I could have remembered all of the parts and pieces. But anyway, Rocky Horror Picture Show. The gentleman that plays Riff Raff is Richard O'Brien, who wrote the original play. This is the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Currently, it is the Rocky Picture, pardon me, the Rocky Horror Show, because it's not a picture show when it's on Broadway. There's the original soundtrack, or the original cast may be around here somewhere as well. Anyway, this is the one kind of we all know and love. This is going to be at the Sphere in Las Vegas. They're going to do, much like they did with the Wizard of Oz, they're going to put it in there. That's going to be interesting. Toast falling from the sky, all that good stuff. So the reason I pointed out Richard O'Brien is because this, and I don't know if that's him, but it certainly looks like him, is also a soundtrack from Richard O'Brien. So if you were a fan of the Rocky Horror, you might look out this one as well, Shock Treatment. A Lou Adler, Michael White production of the new musical by Richard O'Brien, the original soundtrack, Shock Treatment. So there you go. So there's another style. So you've got some TV ones. You've got, well, one composer that's done a bunch. There's a lot of, and I didn't pull them out, but there's the Star Wars, and there is the Indiana Jones. There's a lot of that where it's Williams and or different composers. Danny Elfman is a big one in the last little while as far as composers for movie scores, not so much soundtracks. I think these are all soundtracks, not so much the scores. Okay, excuse me. Let's do this quick. Because I got a pretty decent stack, but where are we at? It doesn't matter. The longer I look for the time, the longer I take. Up the Creek, there's an interesting one. I think I saw the movie. I'm not positive of that, but kind of one of those 80s teen silly movies. What's cool about this one, though, is there is a song, 30 Days in the Hole, which is a cover of a Humble Pie song done by Regina's very own Kick-Axe. So that's on here. If you're looking for that, only place you're going to find it is on there, I think. Up the Creek, performed by Cheap Trick. Why can't I say that one? The Heat, performed by Heart. The Beach Boys are on here. Who else is on here? It gets a little less known on the back half. But anyway, there you go, Up the Creek. Again, I'm not going to keep you long. I'm going to stop talking as much as I am about each individual one. Here's another example of one you may pick up just for one song, because Secret Loser, Ozzy Osbourne, is on this one called The Wraith. I can't say that I saw the movie. I watched a lot of movies back in the day. I still watch a lot of movies, but I don't remember it. But anyway, again, another soundtrack that's got some interesting stuff on here. From Ozzy Osbourne to Canada's own Honeymoon Suite is also on there. Warriors, can't go wrong with the Warriors. Get it just for the cover. In a Hurry with the Furies Beating Down Your Neck. For Your Eyes Only, James Bond always has the soundtrack, always has the hit song from, and this is no exception. It was Sheena Easton's version of it on here. That was the title song performed by For Your Eyes Only, Sheena Easton. Here's another example of one where it is a compilation of songs previously recorded and then put together for a soundtrack. There's sometimes where it's purposely recorded just for the soundtrack. Sometimes there's a mix of, but this is all old stuff, although with a twist, because on here Soul Man is performed by Sam Moore of Sam and Dave. and Lou Reed. So the models are on here. New Shoes, Martha Davis and Sly Stone, Love and Affection. So interesting. Good one. There you go. This one kind of annoys me because Jaws 3D should certainly have a 3D cover and some 3D glasses, but it doesn't. Anyway, thought I'd show you what's all on here. I'm not sure exactly. This is maybe a little more score-like, but Jaws 3D main title, Panic at SeaWorld. But if you're a Jaws fan, or a Shark fan, for Shark Week, you got to have some tunes. Classic, should have had it in the classics. Animal House, again, a great version of older songs they pulled together for specifically the movie. Vision Quest, there's a good one. Only the Young by Journey, Madonna, Crazy for You, Don Henley, She's on the Zoom, John Waite, Dio, Foreigner, Sammy Hagar, Red Rider, and the Style Council. That's a pretty decent soundtrack. That's got some good stuff on it. The movie was good as well. Rocky 3, da 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 da. There you go. Hey, I guess maybe Travolta will give him the not just the trilogy, but the quadruple. We'll throw Perfect in there too. Jamie Lee Curtis. There's Jamie Lee on the back. She's in The Bear. If you're not watching The Bear, you should watch The Bear. Season 5 just came out. I crushed all 8 episodes the other night. Well, that's not true. I crushed all 7.5 episodes before I fell asleep and then watched the last part yesterday. Very good. Back to the first couple of seasons for The Bear. Anyway, I digress yet again. There you go. Perfect. Jermaine Jackson, Pointer Sisters, Thompson Twins. So it was a little more dancey. Is that a word? I think that's a word. Original motion picture soundtrack to Buck Rogers. Buck Dodgers. No, that's Duck Dodgers. Anyway, there's that. Another very good soundtrack. Some Kind of Wonderful. Who's all on here? Do Anything. Pete Shelley. Brilliant Mind. Cries Like This. Blue Room. That's pretty good. Flesh for Lulu. So this one falls into the category of maybe not the biggest names out there being on a soundtrack, but some interesting stuff and a great way to first be introduced to them. The Woman in Red. Little Gene Wilder down on the bottom there, and the lady from Strange Science, whose name I can't remember, but there you go. Stevie Wonder, music produced by Stevie Wonder on The Woman in Red. Hockey. It's baseball season, football season, and football soccer season currently, but this is all about hockey. But there you go, Patrick Swayze, a young Patrick Swayze, and a young kid named Rob as well. Look at that. That's old. Good Lord. When is that from? Doesn't matter. Starship, Mr. Autograph. There you go. Young Blood. Go Faster, Joe. Party. No idea. Of the movie, no idea of the soundtrack. But anyway, Elvis Costello and the Attractions, Dave Edmunds, Altered Images, Bad Manners. There you go. That's pretty good. Party. How about this one? This one might be cover, for the cover, if nothing else, right? Especially for the Marvel fan, Howard the Duck. I have not watched Howard the Duck in a long time, like maybe from the start. I just don't remember it being that good. I do remember this being a good movie and a wonderful, awesome soundtrack. Times Square, you've heard me talk about this before. I think we've had 4 or 5 copies of this in. It always comes and goes, and I always recommend it. It is very, very good. It was a bunch of bands that I was not very familiar with when I first went to the theater and saw it back in 1980. There you go. But you got Suzi Quatro on here, Pretenders, Roxy Music, Gary Newman. Ramones is on there as well. Okay, a few more. I won't keep you that much longer, and I'm going to block the door because Kent might walk through here in a second, and I don't think he cares about being on screen, but he's just going to continue on his way through. Nobody's going to be able to see you unless I do that. Oh, it's coffee. All right, thanks. Summer School. Mark Harmon, right? Well, now they saw you. And a puppy dog. There you go. Summer School. Who's on there? Danny Elfman. Spoke of him earlier. E.G. Daily. Who else is on here? E.G. Daily. So, yeah, Billy Burnett. There you go. Summer School. Real quick. If you don't want to go to summer school, you can go to private school. Here's another classic one. Ry Cooder is throughout most of this. There's a little bit other on here as well, but Crossroads, there's another fantastic movie that you should see. I haven't been telling you prices, sorry, but I think for the most part you've been able to see them. So they're there. Another soundtrack from another Bond movie, The Living Daylights. that was Aha. So not just Take on Me. Their second album is over in the bin over there as well, and it's very good. If you're a fan of Aha, you like Take on Me, you like that first album. Their second of many actually is in the bin. I'm pretty sure. I don't think it has gone yet. Here's a cool one. This is from Gordon Deep of the Spoons, Canada's very own Spoons. Listen to the City original soundtrack. Yeah, and it's all by him. So another one that should have been in the other category. And this, last but not least, is an interesting one. I talked about this the last video that I did, but we'll talk about it a little bit more. This is Record Store Day Friday from Black Friday from maybe last year, a couple years ago. Anyway, Helmet and the House of Pain. Teenage Fan Club and De La Soul, Living Color and Run DMC, Sonic Youth and Cypress Hill. This is Judgment Night, where they took some rap artists, they took some metal artists, some heavier artists, they put them together and came up with this. This is a very cool album. I think, I could be wrong. No, I am not wrong. It's actually still in the shrink still. So this thing is brand new and 30th anniversary edition on red vinyl. So you cannot go wrong if you like a little rap and heavy metal together and some interesting stuff. $30 I've got that at, and again, it's brand new and sealed. So there's that, Judgment Night. Okay, that's it. That's all. That probably took a little while, but maybe you stayed till the end. Maybe you didn't. I appreciate the fact that you watched it all. So hopefully you did stick around till the end. Those are all going to be in the bin. New stuff again on Friday. Some more new stuff from previous couple of Fridays. Lots to choose from. There's still all the great stock that's always been here. Lots of Pat and Harry still. Jazz over there. They're down on the bottom. There's country. There's newer country, old country. Craven coming up. Big Valley Jamboree, Craven, whatever. Thunder, what the hell's it called now? I don't care. Doesn't matter. That's coming up too. Country Thunder. There you go. I always think of stuff eventually. So lots of that, lots of everything. Come and see us Monday to Friday, but not this Wednesday on Canada Day. We will not be here. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and we will talk to you soon.